All right, peace, peace, peace. Hold on, let me get your name real quick. Let me see what your name is. What is your name? Uh, Aisha. Ashai. Fuck, I can't say it. Fuck, I don't think I'm gonna be able to pronounce that. I like it though. It looks nice. Um, yeah, I can't read. You feel me? Anyways, hey, welcome. This is going to be your mini reading from I. And so, yeah, like I said, you do have a lot of squares within your chart, and squares, they do go on to produce a life filled with obstacles and hardships that you need to overcome. You feel what I'm saying? So the strife, not strife, but the square is an aspect that's very much likened to Mars's energy. So Mars is a planet that deals with strife. It deals with hardship and overcoming hardship and rising to the top, right? Aries is Martian energy. And when you think of the Aries energy, Aries are very resilient and they're persistent. So it's like with you having this energy here, it's like there is no option but to go hard, you feel me? And to um, dig deep into those reserves of energies within you and overcome things. You feel what I'm saying? Like there's no way around it. You feel what I'm saying? So, um, for instance, you have your sun in the ninth house, which is of great importance. You feel what I'm saying? Like you having your sun in Leo is also important, but it's like your sun being in the ninth house is a little bit more important. So your sun being in Leo, of course, all that good stuff of you being like having literal abilities, you feel me, and in a sense having an awareness and understanding of yourself and um, the things that you desire to accomplish in this life, you feel me, because it's all about the willpower and like how you direct your ego. So there is a healthy sense of understanding and knowing the things that you want in this life. You feel what I'm saying? Like with the sun in Leo, but also the moon in Taurus. So the sun is at home in Leo, and the moon is exalted in Taurus. So there is a good sense of energy between the ways in which you internalize your needs. You feel me? Like your emotional needs and the things that you think you want. You feel me? Especially in a relationship because the moon is in the seventh house, and so with your moon being in the seventh house, it is important that you HD your needs from the partner. You feel what I'm saying? And you don't just because when the moon is in the seventh house, what happens is that one of the ways that your needs, especially your emotional needs, are fulfilled are through partnerships and relationships. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like before getting into it, because this placement can also produce like toxic energies. Moon in Taurus in the eighth, seventh house. So the seventh house is the house of Libra, and like Taurus and Libra naturally square each other. You feel what I'm saying? So this is like a square place. You feel what I'm saying? And so Taurus is the sign of possessions. You feel what I'm saying? Seventh house is the house of partnerships. So the way that this can play out is this perception and ideology of either wanting to be possessed by someone, like wanting to belong to someone, wanting someone to have you. You feel me? I'm yours type energy, which is really toxic, but like society is just toxic. You feel what I'm saying? Um, or it can even be like you seeing partners and people as possessions, which is also toxic. And so it's important here to understand and realize that people are not your possessions, and truly you can never ever possess someone. But rather understanding that in the union between two individuals, it's more of a collaboration in which two individuals are meant to work together and enrich each other's lives. You feel what I'm saying? And so before all of that can even happen, the enrichment of another, it's like you have to learn to bridge that sun moon square energy. You feel what I'm saying? So the sun, it deals with the willpower. You feel me? And it deals with those things that um like you just naturally have a desire to want to acquire and attain. You feel what I'm saying? And Leo wants the finer things in life. Leo is a very ambitious sign. It wants to live a good life. And so with your sun being here, it's an indication that you and of yourself have a strong desire to like exalt your status to a place of like credit and honor where people are like, yo, I want that what she has. But it's like with your moon squaring here, it's like you may lack like the emotional desires that propel you towards doing it. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like you want this thing, but emotionally, internally, you may feel inadequate, or you may feel like you're not worthy of acquiring and attaining these things. You feel what I'm saying? Like ultimately, with the sun and the moon, like also another not allegory, but analogy would be like the sun is your conscious mind, your head, but then the moon is like your heart. You feel me? And there is a clashing between what you want in your heart and then what you portray out into the world. You feel what I'm saying? And so because there is a clashing between the sun and the moon, right, as perceived by this square, this even like not lingers but also channels in through partnerships and relationships. You feel what I'm saying? And just having trouble with partnerships and relationships. But it's like ultimately with the sun and moon squaring each other, which signifies the separation between the conscious and unconscious mind, but also with the moon being in the seventh house, it's like the greatest thing you can do is cultivate a relationship with yourself and get to know and understand who you are. You feel what I'm saying? Who you are. And formulating that relationship before you go out and you try to like fulfill your needs through other people. It's kind of like when the moon is in Libra, these individuals get their emotional comfortability and security through partnerships and through relationships, and to a point where they get sucked into just following the crowd and rather wanting to be accepted rather than actually like being unique and going their own way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like someone. As long as my fire alarm doesn't. Alright, cool. As long as my fire alarm doesn't go off, we're good. Someone's cooking down there. But anyways, you feel me? Anyways. So, what's interesting about these readings? It's like when I do readings for people, I tap into their energy, and this is like proof that your energy is chaotic. No offense, you feel me? But sheesh. Sheesh. This is a part of the reading as well. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty intuitive in of myself. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, there is an importance and a need to learn to like know who you are and gain an awareness of the self. You feel what I'm saying? And formulate a relationship with the self. You feel what I'm saying? And so you are a woman, right? And see, the seventh house deals with partnerships and relationships. You feel what I'm saying? And so the moon is a feminine principle, and so is Taurus, very feminine, right? It's the feminine expression of Venus. Libra is the masculine expression of Venus. But so there's a lot of feminine energy with here. And so this feminine energy, there's a likeliness that there may be a desire. There may be a desire for like woman, you feel what I'm saying? But really, when the moon is in the seventh house, it signifies like this union between you and yourself. You feel me? Where it's like you need to learn to tap in and like unify with those feminine principles of yourself. Feminine principles of yourself, you feel what I'm saying? And so this is like tapping into your sensuality, which you of course naturally, like looking at your chart, I would say I don't really need to speak on this because like it looks like you're already naturally a feminine individual, right? But I'm pretty sure like having all these squares, man, like it probably messes up the energy. But yeah, and so that union, moon in the seventh house, it can even portray as like a bisexuality type of energy where you're like drawn to men but also drawn to women. You feel what I'm saying? Or just one way or another, like the feminine energy attracts you and it draws you. You feel me? And there's a desire to even maybe want to be more feminine, step more into your feminine energies. And so you have your sun in the ninth house, and this highlights that within your life, what is of importance is that you learn, you expand. Like in this life, you're here to expand your perceptions of life. You feel what I'm saying? The ninth house is the house of like philosophy, higher perspectives, religions, expanding your mind through comprehending like literature and scripture. You feel what I'm saying? And with the ninth house energy, um, there's like northeast. There's like a because the ninth house is like around the eastern part of the chart. But like anyways, nevertheless, there's like this affinity and link, between you and like Eastern religions. You feel what I'm saying? So like Buddhism, the chakras, like meditations, etc., etc., etc. So with that being said, it's of importance that you allow yourself to direct your consciousness towards expanding your view on life, your perception on life, and accumulating as much knowledge and turning that knowledge into wisdom through application as possible. And so when the sun, individuality, right, is in the ninth house, it indicates a need for you to not only know information and educate yourself about higher perspectives, but embodying that knowledge and becoming the representation of that knowledge, which is which is wisdom. Yeah, which is wisdom. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, so with you having the ninth house sun, this does indicate that you are just naturally attracted and drawn to like philosophical thought. You feel what I'm saying? Because the ninth house is very Sagittarian, but there's also a highlight of a desire to want to travel and explore the world and go different places. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like this exploration of the world and this going to different places. It's primarily yeah, it's physical, but it doesn't have to be physical. Like the ninth house deals with long-term internal travels as well. So like for instance, learning to meditate and learning to sit down. Like this would be really good, and it would be much compatible with your energy, is considering you have like that Taurus. Taurus is a fixed sign. Leo is a fixed sign. You feel what I'm saying? And then like I know that your Venus is in Virgo, and that kind of messes things up because Virgo is debilitated. Venus is debilitated in Virgo. Where's your Mercury at? Your Mercury is in Cancer, which also which makes the objective mind more subjective, rather than objectively processing your perception, rather than perceiving the world through a lens of logic and intellect. You may find yourself perceiving the world from a place of emotion. You feel what I'm saying? And it's in the ninth house as well. And so with that being said, it's really just important for you to expand your understanding and your awareness. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like when it comes to these philosophies that even compose religions. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like, see, I have a stellium in my ninth house. That's why I've aligned myself with the accumulation of wisdom and knowledge. Because when you have a stellium, like it's like when you have energies in your chart, it just shows you what you would naturally be good at. You feel what I'm saying? And it's like for you, you need to tap into like knowledge and wisdom, and those things will naturally be compatible with you ultimately. You feel what I'm saying? And so yeah, like I said earlier, the need to not only study but become it. So Leo is a sign of identity. You feel me? And if I'm not mistaken, you have your sun, not your sun. You have your sun ruling over your fifth house, I think. Not your fifth house, your ninth house. And I was not right. I was wrong. So the moon is ruling over your ninth house. So with the moon ruling over your ninth house and you having the moon in Taurus and in the seventh house, your mother also needs to be highlighted here. That's what I'm saying. So the mother, when the moon is prominent or exalted in the chart and the moon is in the seventh house, indicates there is a great like affinity between you and your mother. You feel me? So, and it can play out in two extremes. You know, like the most extreme is like um, growing up and then losing your mother at an early age, and then throughout life, continuously going on to seeking for like a maternal energy, like a woman, something, you know, someone, whatever, to fill that role of like that maternal energy. You know, that's like the more negative aspect of it. And having all these squares, I can see how that would be a possibility. You feel me? But it's like positively or negatively, and then like you got Mars. So yeah, and you got Mars like squaring. You got Mars squaring over your moon. So it's like nah, like no way that there is a kumbaya relationship between you and your mom. But it's like those energies you went through and experienced, you know, they tremendously went on to like um, mold and shape your mind and your perceptions on life. And it's like the ninth house, as I keep saying, it's all about perception. So, and as I keep saying, you really need to crack open some books and educate yourself. You feel what I'm saying? Like education is of great importance. Education is really, really important with this chart of yours. Interesting. You have like, all right, which one, Venus or Mars? Yeah, I'll even put you on with this game. So Mars is pretty close to the ascendant, but what is Venus doing though? Venus is, yeah, no, no. Venus is not as prominent as Mars is. So looking at your chart, I see that sheesh, okay, say less. Like Mars in your chart is the most prominent planet. Well, you're probably born on a Tuesday, huh? Because that's like the day of Mars. Like whatever day you were born actually also adds energy to your expression. You feel what I'm saying? But yeah, with Mars being prominent, it's like in this life, you need to channel those aggressive energies towards construction and learning to create. Otherwise, those aggressive energies will overtake you and they will destroy you. You feel what I'm saying? Like your chart shows someone who can become like really bitter if they don't take things. When I say things, take self-development onto their own hands. You feel what I'm saying? Like this is a chart where it's like you can even fall victim to being a victim, but it's like no one is a victim. None of us are victims. But with your Mars being in the first house, this makes you like a cockroach. You know, because cockroaches are indispensable. They can go through whatever and they will not die. Or like a Twinkie. I'm fucking joking. Anyways, you know, so there is a tough skin and an ability to persevere and persist, which is wonderful and beautiful. But I would say that pretty much concludes this mini reading for you. But yeah, if it's of interest to you, I would actually like to work on this chart for you, if you know what I'm saying, and help you gain some knowledge and wisdom and some valuable guidance and advice onto your energies, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, because there's a lot in your chart, like sheesh, okay, and that's not enough. Your sun, moon squaring each other. That's not enough. You got your ascendant squaring your moon. Oh my god, what the heck, man? This is fucked up, man. This is so fucked up. But it's like, yeah, like I said earlier, you really gotta take things onto your own hand, or life will fuck you up. And I'm just telling it like it is, man. I'm just telling it like it is. Like, God fucking damn. And the chick I did a reading for yesterday, she was complaining. Please. But there's a lot of discordant energies internally within you, because this chart, it's nothing more but a reflection of the activities that are taking place within the mind. And so when you dive deeper into the mind, you understand the mind's connection with the astral plane. astral plane. The word astral means pertaining to a star. You feel me? So it's a lot and it's really deep, and I can take you there if you're interested. And I only charge, 30 bucks for my readings. So definitely tap in, I would recommend it. Yeah. Without further ado, this has been your reading. And definitely let me know your thoughts on this, you feel what I'm saying? But yeah, man, this is sheesh, this is like look, y'all, like Venus trining your moon, which indicates that there is an innate ability to like know how to enjoy yourself, you feel what I'm saying? But it's like Venus is um in detriment, it's in Virgo, so it's like even the ways that you may enjoy yourself may be like you like to work a lot, maybe because you're trying to avoid certain energies, that can be toxic. But it's like working becomes something associated with pleasure. um Venus and Virgo. Yeah, and then you got like, damn, universe, for real. And then you have like Saturn conjunct your moon. I have Saturn conjunct my moon as well, and it's hard. But once I learn how to transmute those energies, it's one of the most great. It's like one of those positions, alignments that I'm grateful for, because negatively, because a conjunction just signifies power. A powerful union between two planets. You feel what I'm saying? And it's not positive nor negative. And sometimes it can play positive, sometimes it can play negative. But ultimately, Moon Saturn conjunction produces dense, heavy emotions. So emotions that deal with fear, that deal with doubt, that are like anxiety orientated. You feel me? Real heavy energies, and energies that deal with doubt, like doubting yourself and doubting your image. You feel me? And not believing yourself. And so like your sun, is in a place where it's like you are capable and you probably have all these abilities and potentialities. You feel what I'm saying? But then it's like that's your sun, and you may mean well through your actions, and you may want to do all these beautiful things in this world. But it's like it's the internal battle that you need to learn to overcome. And yeah, for real. Um, but yeah, definitely hit me up if you want to. If you want my help. If not, it's okay. Sheesh, look at this. Sheesh, what in the world? Okay, and then y'all, oh my god. It's like, I'm just so tempted to keep going, because, there's all of these things that you should know about. Like, for instance, you have, like, the majority of your chart, 12 placements in your chart. And, this include, like, your MC, your AC, your midheaven, your ascendant, you feel what I'm saying? Your north node, you feel what I'm saying? Your fortune. All of them are in fixed houses. You have 12 placements in fixed houses. So there's this fixation of energy, and it's like, unless you have someone who is cardinal or mutable, um, I'm pretty mutable. Like, I'm mutable, to be honest. I'm really mutable. I'm like super mutable. I am the mutable. I have a shit ton of mutable energy in my chart. But it's like you need a mutable person or a cardinal person to help you, like, to kickstart you or to stimulate you into action. You feel me? Otherwise, there's like this stagnation and this fixation energy. You feel what I'm saying? And because of the stimulation that's needed, it's like you may even find yourself going towards like booze, alcohol, drugs, like, weed or whatever it is, to stimulate yourself into motion and movement. And that's like the more toxic expressions of that energy. But yeah, I've said what I needed to say. Now I'm gonna go to the next reading. All right, peace.